Alrighty, what is up, everybody? Hopefully y'all can hear and see me all right. Still, well, actually, I guess y'all don't know about this. I've been testing out a new way to do my live streams with my members only live streams. So this is my first time doing it as a public live, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. There might be a little bit of like weird delay on the front and back end, or my answers might come through like a few seconds late, but hopefully everything sounds good, looks good, and we can just start running from here. So y'all let me know right now if you can hear and see me fine. I'm going to get everything set up on my end so I can make sure I'm in the right place. Looks like we have Ahmad in here first. I appreciate you as always. Just texting you about fantasy stuff, and I'm still thinking about that. But I just got back from a run with Odin, and I'm like, you know, I wanted to do something talking about these card offers that are ending very, very soon. Technically not exactly, I'll just say what day and time I don't think right now, but I wouldn't wait very long at all on any of these, and we'll be getting into that in a second. Woodsy's saying it's going to be a good one. He's going to have to catch the rerun, though, because looks like he's busy, which is completely fine. Brad is in here as well. I appreciate you joining. Nick, another member of the channel, what is up? Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Brian Jones saying, hey, good to see you in the chat as well. Credit card helper, I'm going to assume that's what that stands for. Hello, hello. Awesome, Brad. Thank you for that. Oh, yeah, we have not been, this is not the, maybe I should have made this more clear. This is not the 25,000 subscriber live stream. That is coming out December 11th at 7:30 p.m. This is like a month in advance. Just wanted to get on here real quick. I figured it'd be a good idea to start just live streaming some of the news stuff that comes up, just because that makes a ton of sense, you know? I don't know why I haven't done that in the past, but I figured now would be a good time to start. So that's exactly what we're doing here. Let's see here. Making sure all my stuff is set up well. Sounds like everybody's good here. John, another member. What is up, dude? Michael in here as well. Hey, from South Jersey. What's up, Frugal Dad? Michael, greetings. Stan the Credit Frog in here. What's up, brother? Ragav is in here as well. Ready to get started. Okay, good. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I was accidentally convincing people that it was the 25,000 subscriber live stream, but well, awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. It looks like we already have a good amount of folks just sitting in here on a post that, or a live stream I haven't announced at all on the channel. So thank y'all for being here. I am recording on my phone, like I mentioned, so we got an even wider angle than normal. Technically, I think it's in 4K, but it might actually only produce out in 1080p here. So let me know though what y'all can select on the quality. I think it might only be up to 1080p, but hopefully it still looks good. Audio, I actually have my filters on my mic, so this is a cool little setup. Have all these the buttons to actually bring y'all's chat up, which is different from StreamYard, what I normally use. Ronald saying he's old enough to be your dad, but enjoy your videos. You've helped me a lot. That's awesome to hear. So really appreciate that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this slideshow going here, because as y'all know, I always like to do a little bit of a slideshow. And here we go. So just to kick things off here, obviously this live stream is all about the Chase card offers that are ending soon. Just wanted to say welcome to the live stream and thank you for joining me. Like I mentioned, no mention here of any live actually going on, so the fact that y'all are here with no notice is really awesome. Odin and I really appreciate that. I think you can see his head hanging off the bed here. I can go back to the full screen real quick. Yeah, Odin is here with us. Yeah, super casual environment tonight just because, like I said, I just got back from a run and stuff, but wanted to get some new stuff out there. So first things first, we're going to, of course, talk about how this is going to work. So I'm going to try to keep it pretty brief today. I'm going to do just a brief review of both of these cards, including the card details on the two that are expiring soon, the limited time offers. That, of course, is going to get, we're going to go heavy into the welcome offers, annual fees, just a quick review of the earning categories, benefits. Then I'll discuss who I think that they're for and why I've personally applied for both of them. And then after that, we'll do more of a live Q&A. So maybe try to hold your questions for that, unless it's really applicable to what I'm talking about, just to try to keep things clean. And as always, the VOD, the video of this live will be posted on the live shelf of my channel. So you can refer to that after this point if you want to come back to this, but it's more of a news-based topic. So just wanted to jump in as quick as possible. And yeah, just like Frugal Dad said here, smash that like button. I appreciate that. So Wheels, I did see your question here. I'm going to wait on that until the live Q&A portion, just because it's not exactly applicable to these cards. But I do see y'all. I see all of y'all's comments. So thank you for being here, as always. So let's start with the welcome offers on both these cards. I might need to make my head a little bit smaller here or something, but I'll just move it back and forth as needed. But we're going to start with the welcome offers here on both of these cards. I guess real quick, actually, before I even get into it, the whole point of this video is, or the whole point of this live stream is talking about the Chase Sapphire Preferred and Chase Ink Unlimited limited time welcome offers that are ending very, very soon. I think I am allowed to talk about the end date for the Unlimited because that's been public for a while. I initially posted that it was supposed to expire on November 4th because that was the information that I had, but it actually got extended, and now on the website, or my affiliate, people are telling me that it's going to be ending tomorrow morning. Like, so I would not be waiting on this by any means. If you're ready to apply for this card, go for it. Chase Sapphire Preferred, you have a little bit longer. I don't have an exact end date on that yet that I can share publicly, but once again, would not wait very long. Like, I would get it within the next week. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But that's what this whole live is kind of about. So we'll go ahead and start with the welcome offers here on both of the cards so you know what we're dealing with. To start, the Chase Sapphire Preferred has a welcome offer of a $300 Chase travel credit plus the 60,000 bonus points. The 60,000 bonus points is going to be the normal welcome offer, and that comes to you after you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months of having it. They did add a limited $300 Chase travel credit to this. Yes, that credit has to be used through the Chase travel portal. Would I necessarily go out of my way to get this welcome offer if I wasn't already planning on getting this card? That's debatable. It obviously depends on your 524 status, your Chase 524 status. It depends on your hard inquiry count. It depends on what other cards you want on your roadmap. But in my opinion, this is just, it's another limited time offer on a card that is very popular. So if you haven't gone for it yet and you've been thinking about getting it, this is just a more opportune time than any. Like, if you were my friend sitting here in the room and I was trying to tell you what cards to maybe consider right now, this would be at the top of the list just because it's a very easy one to get positive value from, especially in the first year and especially with a limited time offer. The Chase travel credit, as it says, has to be used within the Chase travel portal, which is not exactly ideal. If it was just a normal credit like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, of course, that would be better. Oh, sorry, I forgot that I was covering the screen here. I guess I could turn this off for a second. So you can see the full offer. But yeah, would I rather it not be within the Chase travel portal and be just more of a Chase travel, or just a travel credit like the Chase Sapphire Reserve? Yes, that'd be more ideal, but that's not the case here. So that's just what we have to deal with is this offer, but it is limited time. It is elevated, so that's really powerful. Next up, though, we have the Ink Unlimited. So once again, let me just go ahead and remove my camera here for a second. The offer on this card is something that we've become very used to because this card constantly has elevated offers on it at least once a year, I would say. And that goes with the Chase Ink Cash and Ink Unlimited, but sometimes they have them at the same time. Sometimes they trade between the two. We just saw that the Ink Cash might even still have that. I think it does have that same offer where you can get like a certain amount of points for the first $6,000 worth of spin, and then you can or for the first $3,000 worth of spin, and then you get extra points after that. We could look into that a little bit later if we want to. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're dealing with here. The Chase Ink Unlimited will give you $900 bonus cash back after spending $6,000 in the first 3 months of having it. $900 cash back is actually awarded as 90,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points, which is extremely valuable if you use those points wisely. And specifically, if you use those points with the Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Ink Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve to transfer out to travel partners, that makes that $900 value actually seem very small in comparison to what you could get otherwise. For example, we have the Points Guys valuations of roughly 2 cents per point for Chase Ultimate Rewards points if you do use them for travel and get that average value. And that would make this bonus actually worth $1,800 of travel for a no annual fee card. Speaking of the annual fees, might as well just dive into that real quick as well. Just going to keep my camera off the screen for now. So dive into the annual fees. Of course, with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, we got a $95 annual fee. There are going to be ways to recoup that annual fee. It's going to have more benefits than the Ink Unlimited here, but it does have an annual fee on it. If we even just took, though, the face value of the 60,000 points. Oh, my phone's recording. I was looking for that. So say that's a cashback rate of $600, which I would not redeem your Chase points that way necessarily, especially if you're getting the Preferred. I'd maybe use them with travel partners, get maybe $1,200 worth of value plus that $300 Chase travel credit. But a base valuation of $600 for that welcome offer, you're covered on the annual fee on this card for over 6 years. So don't be scared of an annual fee if this is just a card that you want to get for the offer. That's perfectly doable. Could also wait for like an 80,000 point offer if you wanted to, but that's completely up to you. And then, of course, we have the Chase Ink Unlimited that has no annual fee. So the fact that I just said it has the ability for you to get 90,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points right now with no annual fee is pretty insane. And that's why I wanted to do this live and make sure that y'all can jump on it if you're somebody that's okay with moving over to that business side of the credit card game and trying to get more value from your points and your spend that way. Probably should have done a quick section on business credit cards in general, but maybe we can talk about that here in a second. Real quick, just take a quick pause to welcome everybody else in. Joshua, I appreciate you joining. William saying that you just got the Chase Ink Unlimited. Do I help with planning trips on your private calls? That's something that we can talk about in like a miscellaneous call if you wanted to, but I do not make any promises that I'll actually be booking any trips for you. That's something that I initially thought would be a fun idea to do, but when you realize that it's not always guaranteed you're going to find the best redemption at the exact time you're doing a call with me and all that kind of stuff, like I just don't want to have that. I want it to be a better experience every single time you come to one of the calls, so that's why I don't offer that specifically, but we could talk about it in like a miscellaneous call. Aiden joining as well. What is up? All right, cool. So got the annual fees covered here. Now we can get into the earning categories on each of these cards. Again, I'm going through this really quickly, but that's on purpose because I know a lot of y'all already know about these cards. I want to get to the live Q&A here in a second, so let's go ahead and just keep moving through. The Chase Sapphire Preferred is going to cover you at 5x back on all travel booked through Chase Travel Portal. And then, of course, that's excluding the hotel purchases that qualify for the annual Chase Hotel Travel Credit. We'll get into that in the next section. It also gives you 2x back on other travel purchases, 3x back on dining, 3x back on online grocery store purchases, which of course people don't love, and then 3x back on select streaming services, 1x on everything else. The biggest complaint, of course, with the earning categories on the Chase Sapphire Preferred is the fact that they, at least the dining, overlaps with the free cards here. But if you're somebody that, is trying to build out a Chase trifecta, you already know what these cards are going to do for you. You're going to have the Chase Freedom Unlimited covering you at that 1.5x on all of your miscellaneous spend, the Freedom card covering you at the 5x rotating quarterly categories, and the Preferred is going to be your daily spend on basically everything else, including dining and travel mainly. But yeah, it's not necessarily going to be one that earns a ton of points for you. It's going to be better than some cards out there. But the main reason you even want this card is going to be to allow yourself the ability to transfer your points out to Chase's travel partners. And I know we're not into the benefits section yet, but just know that while the earning categories may not seem amazing at face value, that's not exactly the only reason that you're going to want this card. Then moving into the Chase Ink Unlimited. This is a much simpler card. All you can get is 1.5% cash back on all of your business purchases. Do know that 1.5% is actually 1.5 points per dollar spent, meaning that you actually are earning Chase Ultimate Rewards points, not cash back. If you do have a card like the Chase Ink Preferred, Chase Sapphire Preferred, or Chase Sapphire Reserve, you can combine these points from your Chase Ink Unlimited onto that higher tier card and transfer out to partners. So in a lot of ways, it's just, I just think of it as more of like a welcome offer card where you can get a lot of points up front for it, use it for all your business purchases, accumulate some points there, and then yeah, it's just kind of like a really simple card that you don't have to think much about, which I actually enjoy. But yeah. Next up here, we will talk about the card's credits and benefits. Again, keeping on the fast train here of getting through all this stuff. The Chase Sapphire Preferred, there are only a couple of main benefits I actually care about. I just screenshotted the ones that they like to advertise the most. The biggest ones that you're going to be hearing about constantly on this card is this one in the middle here, where you can earn up to $50 in statement credits each account anniversary year for hotel stays purchased through Chase Travel. So it's not that powerful of a credit in the sense of you have to book a hotel stay through the Chase Travel portal. And for the most part, you are not going to find any hotel that only costs $50 a night. So you're going to have to be spending more money through the portal to get value from this credit than, just using points or whatever instead. So this is one that I never force myself to use. And luckily, this card still gives you plenty of positive value without that. This card also touts that it gives you $150 in additional partnership benefit value. It's kind of a mouthful there. That's because they have a connection, with Lyft and DoorDash and all these things where you can technically get some decent value from it, but that's going to be a high estimation for sure. And I actually have a video coming out next week about my 1 year review of the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and you can see that they tout, I don't even know how many hundreds of dollars they technically tout for some of these partnership benefits, and I didn't get nearly that much. So, but yeah, just keep that in mind. The bigger two things here that I really care about are going to be this 25% boost on your points whenever you redeem them through the Chase Travel Portal. You know, this is something that it doesn't maybe seem that powerful up front, but at the end of the day, you have to use 25% or roughly 25% less points than you would otherwise if you were to book travel through their portal. 1.25 cent per point as a redemption rate is not necessarily amazing, so that's why it's not the best benefit out there. But y'all have seen, if you've watched the channel for a while, that I actually used that 25% boost whenever I bought my MacBook Pro, which is literally right here, y'all can see, and that's what I use for all my business stuff. That was an interesting redemption. Could have had the Chase Sapphire Reserve for that instead, technically, and that would have been better, but I couldn't actually upgrade to that one yet, so I got a 25% boost on my points by using it for Apple products, which was an interesting one. Y'all can definitely check out that video if you want. Still one of my most polarizing videos, but also one of my most well-supported, so pretty cool. But yeah, that's part of the benefits. And then lastly, like I already mentioned, you have the ability to transfer your points out to Chase's travel partners, which is the biggest value out of this card. This will save you so many points rather than not having it. For example, if you had a card like the Chase Freedom Flex and you wanted to go book travel through the portal, you know, that might cost you, say you wanted to book like a hotel stay with Hyatt or whatever, and it's going to cost you 100,000 points through the portal. You might be able to transfer your points directly to Hyatt and only need to use 50,000. Therefore, just by having that one benefit, you saved yourself 50,000 points, which is a $500 cash value, $1,000 travel value with partners. So that's where that power really lies, even though there's no monetary number associated with it. And then real quickly, we'll get into the benefits of the Chase Ink Unlimited, which are very few and far between. Honestly, it's pretty funny how they try to make up benefits on this card. The only real one is right here, the 0% intro APR for 12 months. That's something I actually don't talk about on this channel much because I don't like suggesting that these are a good thing to use because they are a very slippery slope. If you're somebody that has any kind of history of not making your payments in full and on time every month, 0% intro APRs are not for you. If you're like really, really well versed in the credit card game and your credit score is really high and you know how to handle them responsibly, maybe you could use something like this, but I don't personally recommend it. Other than that, they just have like, you know, the ability to get employee cards at no additional cost. And one of their benefits is that you can redeem your points, which I thought was pretty hilarious because that's not really a benefit, but hey, what are you going to do? So yeah, that's like the bulk of the things here. I still have 2 more sections I want to cover. One, who these cards are both for, since we're talking about getting these cards right now. Want to see if they're actually for you. And then we have a section covering why I got them. But real quick, I'm going to scroll through some of y'all's comments here that are related to the topic at hand. B Money saying that you just got the Chase Sapphire Reserve yesterday and got the Amex Platinum today. Wow, that's an expensive year of credit cards for you right there. That's for sure. That's what, like $1,245 or something for those 2 cards. Is that right? No, that's not. Is that right? Yeah, it is. That's crazy. That's an expensive couple days, but congrats on the approvals. If they make sense for you, that's awesome. Kent asking if I have any trips planned for 2025. I can cover that more in the next section once we get to the live Q&A. So I shouldn't have put that one up just yet, but I'll do that here in a little bit. Big Gritter saying that you just got approved for the preferred. Congratulations on that. That's awesome. That's exactly what this live stream is for. Let's see. Just got the Chase Ink Unlimited and working on that sweet 90,000 point welcome offer. That is amazing. Yeah, congrats on that. That's awesome. Let's see. Looks like we got a lot of different questions in here. Josh was saying that the $50 credit has been surprisingly useful, talking about the one on the Chase Sapphire Preferred. They go to concerts quite frequently and use it to stay at a hotel room when the venue is far from where I live. Yeah, there are definitely reasons to use it. I just don't like that you have to use your cash to book a hotel through their portal just to get $50 back. Well, I guess that's actually not true because this is the way that I use the credit in the past. Since you get that 25% boost on your points, I just remember this because it's been so long since I've had the preferred. But you can book the majority of your trip on points and then just save $50 to process in cash on the card. I think I actually made a video where I did that. I don't remember which one it is, but you can basically, leave off $50 that will be paid in cash on the card, get it as close to $50 as possible, use points for the rest, and then you'll get that credit. So that actually is a good call there. Okay. I applied for the Ink Unlimited and they said they need further review. Yeah, sometimes that happens. You go to pending review. I would always just call their reconsideration line immediately just to see if you can get it pushed through. If you were at 524 or higher, that would be a very big reason for them to deny you. Sometimes people get around it during the elevated offer periods like we're in right now, but that's not guaranteed. So that could be why you got denied, or not denied, but sent to pending review. Hopefully they'll give you a response like by tomorrow, but I would call them. Polo saying you got the Chase Sapphire Preferred the other day. Congrats on that. That's awesome. Nick, unfortunately, will not be out of 524 until February. Yeah, that is tough. Yeah, you could risk it if you really wanted to on one of the business cards specifically. I wouldn't do the preferred, but if you wanted the unlimited right now, you could try it. That's risky. That sucks. Okay. Here you go. Just got the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Want to get a business credit card as well. Which one should I go with? Well, theoretically, you should probably consider the Chase Ink Unlimited like right now. But if you just got the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you might not be able to get this one. Like I said, the offer on the Ink Unlimited ends tomorrow. You can find a link for both of these offers down below. Sapphire Preferred, like I said, you have more time. The Ink Unlimited, though, is expiring tomorrow morning, like early. So I would jump on it now if you can. But yeah, actually, just since you already asked that, I'll answer the rest of y'all's questions here in a bit. But since y'all just asked that, let's go back to the screen share here and let's talk about who these cards are for. So for the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I guess I can bring my camera back up now since it's not covering that. For the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I think there are a few camps of people that this card makes a lot of sense for. For one, is going to be the travel credit card beginner. If you're somebody that has had Chase cards for a while and you're thinking about getting into the travel game, but you don't really know how to do it yet, Chase Sapphire Preferred is perfect. It's a very low stakes card, $95 per year. Like I mentioned, the welcome offer alone right now covers the annual fee, not for just 6 years, but at a minimum, it would cover it for 9 years. And that's at a very low minimum. So it's like, again, very low stakes card to get started with. And you can figure out how to transfer out to partners. You can figure out how to use their portal. You can do all of that with this card. So that's one person that I think it's for. I think it's also good for the flexible redemption seeker. What I mean by that is, you can see I kind of just did like an ER at the end of all of these. I wanted to make it kind of more fun, but I don't know. The flexible redemption seeker, just because if you're getting Chase credit cards, in my opinion, they're the best currency because they are the most flexible. So like I said, if you want to maybe redeem some for cashback still, but also use their travel portal with a boost with this card or transfer out to partners. You can do all of that with this card. Without it, you're just going to get 1 cent per point for everything if you only have the free cards. So this card just gives you elevated rates in all the other places. The Chase Ecosystem Builder would be the next type of person. That's somebody like me. When I got this card, it was my 3rd credit card ever. Helped me finish my Chase trifecta. Helped me access those transfer partners. And it's just one of those cards that's pretty essential to that. I forgot I had it right here. Y'all can see my old Chase Sapphire Preferred here. Now I have the Reserve. So this one has been put in my backup wallet with all the other cards in my graveyard. But hey, still pretty great looking. And then lastly, of course, the sign-up bonus hunter. That is, a lot of people in the credit card game. If you just want to lock in an elevated offer on all the cards that you apply for, now could be the time to go for this one since it has that elevated offer. As for the Chase Ink Unlimited, of course, this card is going to be great for a small business owner that just wants a flat 1.5x on all of your spend. Also, of course, it has that really high welcome offer. So for your first $6,000 worth of spend, you're going to be getting a much better rate than that. You'll be getting, I'm going to pull it up actually because I want to know. I disconnected that. Pull up the calculator, huh? So your return on spend, come on. Your return on spend with this card, I'm going to step away from the mic. 90,000 points, $900 worth of cash back for $6,000 worth of spend, 15% return on spend. And if you get double that value, you're getting 30%. So anywhere from 15 to 30% for your first $6,000 worth of spend, which is great for big purchases as a small business owner. It's also just good for those that are Chase point hoarders. Like you just want more Chase points. You need more Chase points. get these cards during the elevated sign-up bonus periods. And again, it's going to be for the sign-up bonus hunters as well. And that honestly is probably the most amount of people that will be applying for this card. Even if you're not a small business owner, even if you're not a business owner at all, and you just have your social that you can apply for these cards with, I think this is like one, if not like, it's one of the best credit cards you can start getting sign-up bonuses on, because they really have like no language limiting the amount of these cards you can get even under the same business. And they don't really limit you on the frequency at which you can get the welcome offers on it. So like, for example, my stepbrothers have gotten this card multiple times under the same exact business information and gotten the bonus on it again, multiple times. So the Chase infinite like point thing is like really, really amazing. It's a nice advanced credit card strategy. And I think that a lot of people that get this card, even if they don't have a business, that's what they're doing this for. But yeah, I think that, oh yeah. And then real quickly, before I get back into y'all stuff, let's talk about why I have both of these credit cards, or why I have had them, considering I don't have them both right now. As you can see though, got both of the cards in my setup right here. The Chase Ink Unlimited that has tape all over the front of it because they don't know how to not put raised numberings on their cards. And the Chase Sapphire Preferred, both right here. Let's talk about real quickly why I have both of them. For the Chase Sapphire Preferred, as I mentioned earlier, this was my third credit card that I ever applied for. And with that being the case, it completed my Chase trifecta setup. I had the OG Chase Freedom card at this point, started as a Chase Freedom student, product changed that to the OG Chase Freedom. Chase Freedom Unlimited was my second credit card ever. Chase Sapphire Preferred was my third. It unlocked up my access to the transfer partners, which is the second bullet point here. And that's when I really started to get into the travel credit card game, and why my channel has evolved to the point that it is today, and why I've learned all the things that I have about the credit card game. This was really like the I forget what the word is. The gateway drug to the credit card points and miles game was the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Also my first metal credit card, or semi-metal, which is like a big step up. I remember that. Like getting this card in the mail, I felt so cool. So that's a little bit about that. I also wanted this card for that 25% points boost. It allowed for that flexibility of redemptions. I used this card to get that MacBook Pro, like I mentioned, or this MacBook Pro, I should say. And I think that's still my best redemption I've ever made because of the amount that this MacBook has returned me. And then, of course, I also got it because it just has a powerful sign-up bonus as somebody that was still, a beginner in the credit card game. I mean, it's a powerful sign-up bonus for anybody. 60,000 Chase points are worth at least $600, more close to $1,200 if you use them correctly, or more. So it's just a really great sign-up bonus. But that is exactly why I got these cards, or that card, sorry. As for the Chase Ink Unlimited, I mainly got it because, for one, it does give me 1.5x on a lot of my business purchases. Any business purchase that falls outside of like my main categories, such as my editing services, they all go on the Chase Ink Unlimited because I want to be earning Chase points in the background without having to think about it, since my Chase points are my most used currency out of my entire setup. That's exactly what I talked about in my latest video too, which I'm going to be answering the comments on probably tomorrow. But yeah, and after that, I also got it because it had a 90,000 point welcome offer on it whenever I went for it. Same with the Chase Ink Cash, actually. So I've locked in both of those offers, which is awesome. And there really is like, it's kind of a surreal feeling getting, like I said, basically $1,800 worth of value on average from a free card just by hitting the welcome offer on it. I do want to say with the Ink Unlimited though, you have to be careful. You don't want to just put spend on this card that you wouldn't have been doing before, because $6,000 worth of spend in 3 months is a lot for a lot of people. And so don't force yourself to get this card if you can't. But if you have the means to do it, yeah, it's pretty insane the amount of value that these free cards provide, the Chase Ink free cards. And then lastly, I wanted to guard my 524 status at the time of getting this card. And even though this card does abide by the 524 rule, meaning that it is impacted by it in the sense that if you are above 524 or at or above, you can't get approved for this card technically. But it does not add to your 524 count. So if you're somebody that is sitting at, 424, this is a perfect time to get the Ink Unlimited. And yeah, that's exactly what I did. So that kind of completes the majority of this screen share live stream. So now we will dive into the live Q&A. I'll scroll back up a little bit here, but I apologize if I missed stuff. Y'all can repeat your questions. I might work from the most recent back to the top here, just since I can see that. And dude, my eyes are like having a hard time adjusting, but here we go. Okay, move this a little bit. Josh, what is up? Lots of love, brother. Keep crushing. I really appreciate you for joining us today. Let's see here. Super Sal, I considered canceling my Amex Gold. How bad will it affect my credit score? Or can you give me a rough estimate on how many points it will drop? So I think I talked about this in my unboxing of the, well, maybe in the canceling video of my Amex Gold, one of the Amex Gold videos I made. I talked about how it actually didn't like impact my score at all. The main reason for that is because your credit or your if your card is in good standing whenever you cancel it, it'll age on your report for 10 more years as if you still have it open. The one thing that you normally lose that would hurt your credit score if you didn't know that it was happening is that it will remove the credit limit from your overall credit limit, meaning that your average or your card utilization overall will be higher. But in the case of the Amex Gold card, it's a charge card. So it doesn't have a credit limit, doesn't report a utilization, which means it literally doesn't impact that either. So I think my score only went up after canceling. Like it's better now than it was when I canceled. Or before I canceled. So it actually doesn't impact you at all with the gold card really, unless it's in bad standing. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll back up like I mentioned. Okay, I'm pretty far up here, so I'm going to try to answer these really quickly and then get back to what y'all are talking about now. Thoughts on cashing 60,000 Capital One miles at one summer point on a 5-day cruise for 2. If you have no better option to use them, I can see why you'd want to. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you can at least like use it to wipe the transaction rather than just move the questions over here. So I'm actually looking at y'all. Like you can use the erase feature on it if you wanted to, because then at least you're getting a little bit more than 1 cent per point since you got some points for booking that trip. Obviously, the best way to use your Capital One miles will be transferring out to their travel partners and doing it that route. But if you have no plans to use any Capital One miles in the future and you just really don't want to pay for if you really don't want to pay for this trip, then that is an option. But yeah, 60,000 Capital One miles could be worth a lot more than just $600. It just depends on how you want to use them. But I'm never going to tell you to not use them a certain way because everybody's redemption methods are going to vary based on their tendencies, their lifestyle, their travel habits. So don't let anybody tell you that it's not a good redemption. Of course, people are going to be like, yeah, you could get more for it, but that's not the important thing at the end of the day. Garrett's saying, what do I think would it take for Wells Fargo to become a true competitor? I just think they need to add more travel partners. Their cards already have really good earning categories. They already have some really great travel partners. If they just continue to add more and provide more benefits with their cards, maybe add like a more luxury travel credit card too, that'd be the only other thing I can think of. That's about all that they can do right now, but I think that their ecosystem has come a long way, and I'm really happy that they are doing that because they're pushing the envelope in the credit card space. People really hated that I ranked them very highly on my ranking credit card lenders tier list thing, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're the ones making the most moves right now. So for the only way that they can advance would be to, one, add more travel partners, add a luxury card, maybe build out a lounge network over time, but that's like way in the future. So yeah, right now I think they're doing great though. Okay. Same saying, I'm at 324 right now, have the Discover It, Amex Gold, and Platinum, and Freedom Unlimited. Just got my Chase Business Unlimited as well. Thinking of either Chase Sapphire Preferred or Built. Oh boy, this could open up a can of worms here. I don't know what that was. But, I mean, technically you're at 324, so you could get both. It just depends on how long you have to wait until the next cards fall off. Technically, like I have been saying throughout this time, if you're looking for an elevated offer, the Chase Sapphire Preferred is much better. The year 1, the year 2, really the extended value that the welcome offer provides, the Chase Sapphire Preferred will far outweigh what you get with Built for years to come. Built does have like the 5-day, 5x back on stuff, but I don't even know if they have that anymore. And they've kind of been going downhill lately, in my opinion, just because they're removing benefits and stuff like that. So to me, it's like, yeah, what if you spend like $2,500 on rent for 2 people, for example, and you're putting it all on your card? That's 2,500 points every month, which would be, I wish my engineering brain was working right now. But come on, calculator. 2,500 times 12. That's 30,000 points in a year, or every year that you get it. So if you can expect to get 30,000 points or more out of the Chase Sapphire Preferred for however many years, then you just go with whichever one makes more sense. And put in your own rent numbers, obviously, but I'm going to leave it at that for now. This is also a great point Brad brings up. Definitely get the Chase Sapphire Preferred if you want to transfer those points out. Yeah. Would I be risking it if I waited until 11/16 to apply for the Chase Sapphire Preferred? I got the Inc. Business Unlimited on 10/14. I will say, I can't say a ton, but I will say that is, I would get it earlier than that. Yeah. I can't say the exact date. Keep an eye out for my community posts, but you'll be pushing it at November 16th. Matt Clausen, what is up, dude? Saying out of the intro period for the Chase Inc. Unlimited, contemplating another, but probably on the next 90K offer. Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, the 90K offers come and go on this card specifically. So, yeah, you can always wait if you're in the same boat as Matt here. There's no need to get it right now. I just wanted to let y'all know that it is ending very, very soon, obviously. So now's the time to do it if you are thinking about it. Do I still plan on getting the Amex Platinum? One day, probably. I talked about that a lot more in my video about the 5 underrated cards I can't wait to get. So maybe check that video out so I can leave it there for now because there's just so many questions I got to get through. Karina saying, hey, Spencer, I'm an attending UT student right now, and I like your t-shirt. Thank you. Yeah, I might be able to give y'all some lore right now on the live streams. Give me 1 second, though. I wonder if you know which credit bureau U.S. Bank will pull in Austin for the altitude reserve. I do not know, unfortunately. But the altitude reserve is an interesting topic now. As we know, Stan has been kind of heading the news break on the altitude reserve being possibly discontinued very soon. Same kind of time frame as we're talking about these offers and stuff like that. So that, yeah, I guess you kind of have to go for it like pretty soon no matter what. But yeah, I don't unfortunately know. As for the UT stuff, I mean, congrats on going to UT. I think it's an awesome school. As for my shirt, well, first of all, if y'all didn't know, back there, that's my diploma. I went to the University of Texas for civil engineering, and now I'm a YouTuber in the credit card space. So I did have a business minor, so I guess that's kind of where I get, had some of this passion. But the basketball shirt here, the women's basketball shirt, is because I was on the practice team for our women's basketball team, which may sound weird, but UT didn't have any club basketball, and they didn't have a practice team for the men's. So the most competitive thing you could do there, besides, I mean, intramurals was somewhat competitive, would be being on the practice team for our women's team, which was a very good team. Whenever I played, one of the girls that we played with went #1 overall in the WNBA draft in 2021 or something like that. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so that's what I did every day of the week. When I wasn't in school, I was playing basketball. And it was a team of guys that, were very competitive, and we'd go out there and scrimmage them every day, give them looks. If they were playing Baylor, I'd be like #1 from Baylor, pulling up from like half court and stuff. It was pretty fun. But yeah, there's some lore. Ooh. Jack Lee saying, if I already have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, can I still apply for the preferred? No, you cannot. I guess my video's not going to come out yet. The rules you have to consider for this card are going to be the Chase 524 rule. If you've been approved for 5 or more personal credit cards in the last 24 months with any lender, you'll automatically be denied for your next Chase card application. The 48-month rule, meaning that you cannot get the welcome offer on another Sapphire card if you got one. Dude, I hate when it does that. Those little balloons that just came up. You can't get a welcome offer on another Sapphire card unless it's been more than 48 months since you got the offer on your last Sapphire card. And the 1 Sapphire card rule only lets you have 1 Sapphire card at a time. So those are the rules you have to consider. Oh, that's a great point, Steph, saying that another Sapphire Preferred benefit that people miss is the extra 10% bonus at the end of the year. You are right. You're technically getting an extra point per $10 spent. So good point there. Okay, I'm going to keep scrolling through here trying to catch up. Ronald saying you're only 2 months in the points and miles game, and the SAP is my first card. What card is that? And I'm trying to think of it. Is that technically the... I don't actually know exactly what card you're saying. Maybe you can, Ronald, if you're still here, if you could put it down there, or somebody else help me out. My brain's not working for that. I know you're a fan of Chase. I spend $6,000 to $10,000 on business expenses. If you're talking about every month, That's pretty awesome. Do you recommend getting a 10 or a 2x card, or do you feel like the SAP is fine? What? First of all, I want to know what the SAP is. Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately. Somebody help me. Well, what I'm gonna say though, no matter what, is that if you spend 6 to 10,000 on business expenses a month, if you really want to maximize the points and miles game, which I know you're only 2 months in, so don't let this overwhelm you, but you can really get a lot of welcome offers on a lot of business cards very quickly. You don't want to do it too quickly, but if you were, say, getting another card every 3 months or whatever, you could stack up so many credit card points where you would get way more value than you ever would by getting a 2x card or just leaving, like, only having one credit card. So that's what I would say there, is don't limit yourself to just one card. But yeah, I guess that applies no matter what the SAP is, so hopefully that helps. Trying to get the preferred. Evan saying, I'm trying to get the preferred for an international trip in May. Right now I have the flex and the unlimited, about 35K income and 1.5 years of history. Do you think I will be approved near the time? I think so, especially, I mean, you know, whenever I applied while I was in college, and I imagine that my income I put in there is roughly the same as that. And you have more no, I had about the same exact amount of history as you did. So you might be on like the cusp of being approved versus not, but I was approved. And I think I was immediately approved with a $10,000 credit limit, or 10,100, even with my low income and being in college. So I would say you have a pretty good shot at it. Okay. Brad, thank you for asking about this question. This is always a fun topic. Saying that, you know, I was talking about the Ritz, or I know you were talking about going to the Ritz. What's the current plan with that? I did talk about this in my video last week, or on Monday as well. But just to give you a quick rundown, I talked to Stan about this because Stan's kind of the guy that I go to for all my Marriott stuff. And I've been really wanting to get the Ritz card just because, I don't know, I thought it would be a really good addition to my setup. But in reality, whenever I applied for the Marriott Boundless, I got it for the 5 free night welcome offer. That was a big reason. Also, I didn't know if I was going to be ready to product change up to the Ritz after a year. It was always my plan, but I just didn't know who I'd be pledging more loyalty to at the time. I still am not a Marriott loyalist. I really don't stay at many hotels at all. So that's why I've held off on getting the Ritz card. But the main reasons I mentioned in that video as to why I didn't have it is because, well, the biggest one is that I don't want to force myself to use the annual free night on the card just to make up the $450 annual fee. That's massive. Like, I don't ever want to force myself to use benefits just to make up an annual fee. So if I'm not naturally traveling at those, you know, 80,000 plus point per night properties, there's no reason to get the card. If I have a trip coming up where I do want to use that free night, maybe that's when I product change up and then just immediately use the free night. But until then, I have no reason to really do it. Also, another big key is, so I guess that's also effective, or annual fee management. That's that part of things. At the same time, though, a lot of people are like, well, just get the Ritz card. You have access to the Chase Sapphire lounges. You can downgrade your Sapphire Reserve, and that's that. You save on annual fees. Unfortunately, the Ritz card, the only lounge that it doesn't get me into is the Sapphire Lounge in Austin, which is super annoying. So really the lounge access on that card is like a null thing. It doesn't do anything for me. And then the Marriott Gold status on it is not great either. Like, I could get that on the Business Platinum, which is a card I plan on going for next year. So yeah, as of right now, I'm just waiting until I have a use for it, basically. It's a long-winded answer, I guess. Soul saying, if I currently have the Freedom Unlimited, do you suggest the next card be the Preferred or the Flex of the trifecta? It depends on if you're ready to use your points for travel. That'd be my biggest answer, is like, if you are ready to right now book a trip, transfer your points out to Hyatt, go book a however many point trip, then you need the Chase Sapphire Preferred. If you're really in no rush to travel and you just want to earn some more cash back, you get the Flex. There's no perfect order to getting the trifecta. You don't even need to get the full trifecta. Like, I think that the Unlimited and the Preferred are really all that I would ever need, and that's what I recommend a lot of my friends get, because nobody really likes rotating category cards that I'm close with. So they're just like, yeah, just give me the ones that give flat rates and I'm happy. So yeah, there's really no perfect timing. It just depends on your travel habits. M saying, how badly will it hurt my score and chance of approval if I apply for 2 cards on the same day without a previous credit card? Well, if you have no previous credit history at all, it's going to be really hard to get approved for that first card anyways. So going for 2, you're going to have a lower likelihood. I would ask what the rush is to get 2 on the exact same day when you have no cards yet. What I recommend people do is get 1 card, like a beginner focus card that you can keep open for like a year before even getting your second card. If you need to expedite that a little bit, or you are an authorized user on somebody's card, so you already have some credit history, you can do that. But there's no reason to rush the credit card game. So I guess to answer your question, your approval odds for the first one's already probably pretty low. Second one would be much lower. If you don't have like any credit score yet, then I guess that's not going to hurt your score necessarily to get those cards on the same day. But yeah, it just depends. Bimmer asking if there are any sweet offers on the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Bimmer, thank you for joining us, of course. Always love to see you in the comments. Any sweet offers on the Chase Freedom Unlimited? Right now, they did actually re-increase the offer from $150 or 1,500 points or whatever, that's 15,000 points. They changed the offer from that back up to the 20,000 points, which is huge. I don't even know why they ever decreased it, so that's good, I guess. They also have the same offer out there to get double or an extra 1.5x on all of your spend for the first year up to $20,000 spent. That offer is only good for a total of $300 worth of value, technically. I guess if you use those points in a different way, they could be worth more. But either way, that's like up to $300 worth of value. But if you just go for the 20,000 point offer instead, you get that exact same amount of value for $500 worth of, or you get 20,000 points. So $200 worth of value for only $500 worth of spend, rather than spending $20,000 to get the 300. So yeah, I would say, I guess there's not necessarily any amazing offers out right now that I know of, but they just have some decent, like that one decent base offers back. Oh shoot, Phil, I did not see your message here, dude. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, that's cool. I've actually never had a super chat yet. So I haven't seen this like overlay with this, but thank you so much for the donation, man. You're saying just popping in to show support. Thanks for answering all these questions. We appreciate you. That means a ton, man. I really do appreciate you supporting me, you know, financially as well as just with your attention. Everybody here, thank you for just watching. That, I mean, obviously helps me a ton. The donations are super appreciated, but I just really, it's amazing to me that I get to do this every day for a living and get to speak with y'all and just hopefully help some of y'all, you know, make some more memories with people you care about, or just put some more money in your pocket. Like, that's what this is all about. So I really appreciate you donating though, dude. That means a lot. Let's see. Aiden saying, do you think Chase will add an actual grocery category? I don't know. I honestly don't know. It doesn't seem like they want to, for whatever reason. To me, I don't stress a lot about that. I think that it would be amazing if they added that, but I don't stress much about it because, as the whole theme of this entire live stream, they have cards with excellent welcome offers. You can get multiple welcome offers on all of their cards. So my strategy with getting Chase points is I use my Chase Sapphire Reserve for daily spending. And then that's just for travel and dining. And then all of the other Chase points that I earn are going to be from, well, luckily referrals is really nice for me, but just to take that out of the equation here, the bigger way that I actually earn points more than the referrals is going to be all of the welcome offers that I get on their cards. That's because I get a lot of just chasing cards and stuff like that. So, well, I guess I shouldn't even say more than referrals. That technically is not true because they have some crazy referral offers. They did just decrease all of those. I'm sure that some of y'all know about that because they used to be 40,000 points per referral, which is insane. And like, I don't even know why they did that in the first place. Now they've dropped, but yeah, either way, the welcome offers on Chase cards is how I get the points that I do with them. So I don't really worry too much about that category. Matt, going back to my statement about the Wells cards, another business card or 3 would be good too. Yeah. They do have some room to grow for sure, but I like where they're going. Boxer saying, hypothetical situation. If the Venture X had a boost like the Sapphire Preferred or Reserve through the portal and kept the same annual fee and all benefits, would it crush the Platinum and CSR? It would definitely help it. I mean, that's for sure. I think it would be insane value if they did that. I would definitely want to keep it much longer because of that. right now it's not doing a ton for me compared to like my reserve. They overlap a ton. But yeah, if they added a boost like that, that'd be wild. I don't think they ever could justify that at the same annual fee because they'd be losing out on a lot of money through those redemptions since they do push people to use their portal so much. Unlike Chase doesn't really, I feel like, push their portal as much as like Capital One does to me. But definitely would be a nice addition. Anthony, what is up? Thank you for joining us today. Let's see here. Oh, Ronald, thank you for clearing that up. Yeah, the Sapphire Preferred was a mistype. Yeah, then I would definitely consider getting some business cards. If you're spending that much on business purchases, start going through those business welcome offers, and you could even start with the Ink Unlimited like tonight. But yeah, if you're not gonna, you don't need to rush it. But that's what I would do in your situation. Super Sal saying you also have 250,000-ish points with Amex, planning on flying and staying at a Marriott in January. Transfer points to airline or Marriott. I would not transfer your points to Marriott. The only hotel that you should really ever transfer points to, unless there's some like really, really good transfer bonus, would be Hyatt. Amex doesn't have Hyatt. Chase has Hyatt. So does Bilt. But you don't want to transfer to Marriott, and the main reason for that is because the average Marriott point is worth, say, 0.8 cents per point, while the average Amex point, if used with airlines, like international airlines and stuff like that, would be worth, 2 cents per point at a minimum. I know that I got, I don't remember even what it was, and this is why I don't care about cent per point values very much. I think I got like 3.5 or something, or 4 cents per point for my business class trip to Croatia, my flight. So basically what you're doing in this case is you're trying to decide between that, say, 3 cent per point value to a 0.8 cent per point. So you just never want to transfer your points to Marriott if they didn't have a good bonus going on or something like that. Sorry, Odin. Just woke him up. Debbie asking if you think Chase will care if you put if you put a cruise on the Ink card to get the sub. Yeah, this is a conversation that I assumed would come up at some point when we're talking about business credit cards. So let's just run through it. Technically, are you allowed to put business or personal expenses on business credit cards? No. Does it say in the card's terms that you should only use it for business purchases? Yes. Does that mean that if you put a personal expense on a business credit card that you are going to get, tracked down by the IRS and be in a lot of trouble? Not at all. So that the biggest misconception is that people think it's like illegal to put business or personal expenses on business cards. That's not the case. Of course, Chase doesn't necessarily like it, but at the same time, you are using their card and they make a lot of money off of your transaction fees. So unless you're not doing something like just insane with your cards and there are also people out there that just use their business cards for personal expenses only, and they have never run into issues. So I wouldn't be super worried about that at all. I've definitely stretched things a little bit in the past, but as long as it maybe could be construed as a business expense at some point, or you just make an honest mistake and you accidentally put that on a business card or whatever, just know that you're not going to get tracked down by the government. You do run some kind of a risk with Chase, but it's not substantial, and you could read data points on Reddit to really look into this more. But of course, I'm not recommending you do it, but maybe look into it a little bit more. Anthony saying you just got your Amazon Prime card increased 4 times after having the card for about 3 months. That's insane. Congrats on that. That's awesome. That's so cool to hear. What's your favorite benefits for my luxury cards? The Chase Sapphire Lounge access on my reserve. My Chase Sapphire Reserve is my favorite benefit, which, well, arguably, it's definitely up there, alongside the 50% points boost that I get through the portal with that card. I use that very frequently, much more than I thought I would. And so that's something that's provided a ton of value, and I want y'all to stay tuned for Monday's video that's coming out, because it is all about my 1-year review of the Chase Sapphire Reserve, how much value I've gotten from the card in the first year, like monetary value, not only including the points that I've earned, but the credits and benefits I actually used and all of that. So that's pretty great. I hope that y'all enjoy that one. Christopher, congrats on your Hyatt card. Ledwig said that you got the Chase Sapphire Preferred sub a year ago and then slowed down, but getting back into it. Again, as I mentioned earlier to someone else's questions, no need to rush this game at all. But congrats on getting the 90,000 point sub on the Amex Gold. That's awesome. You didn't need, like, you could have gotten the green first, yeah, to get the, because you kind of made yourself ineligible for that offer, but you don't need the green card necessarily. So I don't think you did anything too bad. Wheel saying that you got the flex with an in-branch offer to get 5% back on gas and groceries. Yeah, that offer used to be out there a lot last year. If you got it this year, though, and very recently, that's awesome. I would recommend everybody go in branch to get those cards. But yeah, that is one of the best offers you can get on the Freedom cards, and I hope they bring them back online. Remember me when you hit 1 million. Yeah, Nick, I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever hit that large of a number in the credit card niche specifically, but I do love what I do, and I don't care how many subs I get. I think it's awesome that y'all are even showing up to watch me today. Brad, curious, Spencer, without subs, how much money do you put through your cards a year, and how many points do you think you'd earn on average? Well, luckily, I've made complete recaps of all of the points that I've earned, the exact amount, or not exact amount of money, but the amount of points I've earned from spend, from referrals, from welcome offers in 2022 and 2023. I'm going to do my 2024 one at the end of this year, so you'll see that. And you said no referrals, but that's going to be included in there because I'm super transparent with all those numbers. But I honestly don't know exactly what the number is, but it's, I mean, yeah, it's up there, and I earn a lot of points mainly from sign-up bonuses because all of the spend that I do is through that. I know you said without subs here, but that's just not the way I play the credit card game. My core credit card setup that is composed of like 5 cards, I do put a decent amount of spend through, but I'm not earning hundreds of thousands. Like I think I earned like, so far I've earned like 2 million points from welcome offers or something like that, which you just can't do. You know, you can't do with daily spend. So that's why I play the game like I do. How do you subscribe? There should be a little button on the, if you just, you know, get out of the full screen and scroll down a little bit, you'll have a button to subscribe. But yeah, I would appreciate if y'all wanted to sub, you can right now. I guess I should mention this in the live because I'm mentioning it in every video for the next few weeks. We have a 25,000 subscriber live or giveaway and live stream coming up here. It'll end at the end of November, and there's going to be 25 winners of 25 different items, or I guess winnings. Like there's a lot of digital items and stuff, but so you can fill out the Google form in my long form, like my normal videos, the one that came out on Monday, for example. And yeah, if you're subscribed and everything and you end up getting drawn in our live stream on December 11th, like that's awesome. So, but I appreciate you. Oh my gosh, guys, I don't know. This always happens when I do lives. Can you transfer points from the IHG Chase card to the CSP? No, you cannot. They do not. It does not earn Ultimate Rewards points. Any card that earns Ultimate Rewards points, besides the Chase Ink Premier, you can transfer to your Chase Sapphire Preferred, though. Matt Clausen, going back to the Wells Fargo cards, which wants to see a higher end Signify, a Choice Business card, and a Build Business card. Yeah, those would all be great. Like I said earlier, I feel like Build's kind of struggling right now behind the closed doors. So I don't know if they'll add a business card, but the other ones I'd like to see. Lance asking, when downgrading from the reserve to the preferred, is it possible to get a retention offer of any kind? I did ask about that in my my quest of well, I guess I upgraded from the preferred to the reserve, so I didn't try it in reverse. But they didn't give me any kind of offer at all. I asked if they even do that, and they said kind of like no. Like I've never really heard of people getting any kind of retention offer on Chase cards, but you can always ask. Soul asking, if I don't have a small business, could I make use of the ink cards, or is that potentially playing with fire, putting personal spend? Okay, well, I did just answer that. Like I said, really not something that you should, I don't think it's something that you should worry about. Where did that message just go? Oh, there it is. I don't think that's something that you should worry about too much. Again, read some Reddit data points if you want to calm your mind a little bit, because people do much worse things than I assume you would do with your business cards, and they've never been in trouble. So, but again, I'm not condoning that. Do what you will. William saying, will Amex replace their old everyday and everyday preferred? I want to be able to get MR points with no annual fee. Well, I guess we don't really know the answer to that. I assume that they're just refreshing them. I mean, yeah, that'd be my assumption just because, well, let me see actually. I did a more of a deep dive on this for my members only Q&A. I'm trying to remember exactly what I found whenever I looked it up. Members, no, not there. Members live stream. Yeah, so I do think that they're being refreshed. One of the biggest reasons being that Amex announced that they're refreshing like 40 of their credit card products within the year, and we haven't seen that being done to all their cards, so I expect that they're still doing that. Also, they the card, I don't remember if it was the Everyday or the Everyday Preferred, people have been getting, they saw like a new design for the card in their apps and stuff whenever they log in, so it's like they're probably just rebranding it. They wouldn't go through a full refresh of the design and everything if they weren't going to just keep it active. So that's my guess. But as for getting MR points with no annual fee, the Amex Blue Business Plus will be your best bet there. Nathaniel, thank you so much for watching. We're going to come up on the end of the live pretty soon here. I'm going to try to scroll through pretty quick. Maybe get like, maybe it's like 8:40 and I'll bounce. Manav saying that you really love my videos and I appreciate the efforts you put in. So thank you for that, first of all. That's awesome. What are my thoughts on the Hilton Honor Surpass? The Surpass is it's a pretty great card in the sense of, I think like the one competitive advantage that it has besides giving you like the Hilton Gold status and stuff like that would be, and the credits and stuff that it has, is the fact that you can earn the extra free night for $15,000 worth of spend on the card. That's something that people really love to take advantage of. I'm not that big of a spender, so I wouldn't do that personally. I can get much better return from sign-up bonuses, but people do really like it. And I have nothing against the card. I did have something against it whenever the Hilton Honors Business card was more competitive, but now that it's not so competitive, the Surpass is kind of your best like middle ground there. So if you're a Hilton loyalist, it's a pretty solid card. Applied for Chasing Unlimited on 10/12. Still waiting to hear if I've been approved or declined. Submitted a proof of address 3 days ago, so expecting to wait at least another week. Man, thoughts on applying for the CSP this week? First of all, I assume that you already called reconsideration because it sounds like you've already had to submit proof of address and all that, so that's good. I would definitely keep a finger on the pulse. Just keep calling them if you have to, because that's a long time to wait to hear if you're approved. Most people, it should happen really quickly. But yeah, if you're going to try to go for the CSP this week, that I wouldn't do that unless you know that you've been approved for the Ink Unlimited, probably, because they obviously have something going on with your credit report or whatever that they're not liking. So it'd be pretty risky to go for the CSP right after that, but you always could. I'm not telling you shouldn't, but I would try to handle that first card first. Are you still all in on the Companion Pass this year, or are the Altitude Reserve rumors tempting you to apply? The Altitude Reserve rumors are unfortunate to hear, but actually it's not tempting me to apply really at all. I'm all in on the Southwest Performance or the Companion Pass, and I actually applied for the business or the performance business very recently, which a video will be coming out on that soon. You can see the full application process, whether or not I was denied or approved, and how quickly I was able to go through that process. Also, I feel like the Altitude Reserve, if it gets discontinued, they're probably going to make you product change that card at some point. I mean, maybe not, but I would assume that would be what they did. So I don't really want to rush and change my whole roadmap, push myself up to 524 and all of that just for the sake of getting that card. The Southwest Companion Pass will provide thousands of dollars of value for me over 2 years. So I don't really worry about the Altitude Reserve. Alan, I guess I just kind of covered that a little bit, but it is not something I'm super worried about for my personal roadmap. It does suck because it's like, yeah, I did want that card eventually, but it's an in-game card for me. It's not a card I need right now, so I'm not stressing. Chris saying that you've been watching for a while and just got approved for the CSP today. Nice. That's awesome. Perfect timing on this live then. Congrats on that. And yeah, like I mentioned, I guess I haven't said it yet, or maybe I did once, but if you do want to apply for these cards and you appreciate the work that I put into this kind of stuff, it would mean a ton to me if you use my links below this video. You don't have to do it at all. Always find the highest welcome offers possible. But for these two cards, I know I have access to the best offers for sure. And I always have access to the best public offers. So yeah, feel free to check those out and you can support me at no additional cost to you. And yeah, it's amazing. That's literally why I can do this as a job. So thank y'all for doing that. Let's see. Young Juicebox, only have the Discover 8 right now. Would it be good to get in the Chase ecosystem? To me, the Chase ecosystem is great at the beginning because, for one, you don't have to worry about the 524 rule that we talked about earlier. On top of that, if you're not sure if you want to go cashback or travel, the Chase ecosystem is perfect for that because it's the most flexible. If you don't ever get the Sapphire Preferred, you could just say the cashback setup, or you can add this card, make your points worth a lot more. And if you think you'll do that, save your Chase points for sure. Don't use them up because you're going to want access to the partners. And that's how you get the most value for your points. So just wait until you get that. So I think you're in a good spot to start with them if you want to, but of course, consider other options too. The Capital One Duo is an amazing setup if you know you want to go the travel side. Chase is just the most flexible, so that's why I like them. Soul saying, just want to say thanks for the content. I just got into the credit card game kind of late. And admit it, I made some mistakes along the way, but stuff like this really helps. And that's not a problem at all. I mean, it's great that you're here trying to make your credit card game better. Like, that's exactly what all of us are doing. So it's cool to see that you can admit that too. And I'm glad that you're taking steps in the right direction. And I appreciate you watching, and I'm glad that you find this stuff valuable. Y'all are still watching. Can we see some more thumbs up? Yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate that. R. Lambert. The more likes, the better on these things. Help it get pushed to other people. Okay, we're getting close to the end here, so I'm going to try to finish this out. I guess maybe hold off on any more questions. Just listen to these last couple. Give y'all an outro after that, and we'll be good to go. Sal saying, your thoughts on rumors about Hyatt having a premium version? What would make you consider getting it? I talked about that recently too. I can't remember. Maybe in the 5 underrated credit cards I can't wait to apply for. I would love for them to release that. That's probably what would make me get a Hyatt credit card and kind of redo my whole roadmap for that card. I would not want it to give any more than Hyatt Discover status. Discoverist? Why am I confusing myself now? I wouldn't want it to be... they just should not put Globalist on that card. That's all I know. That would be a terrible idea. But I would love for them to add a better free night and stuff like that at a high annual fee. I wouldn't care. I would get it because I do love Hyatt. Obviously, the card has to give me positive value, but that, yeah, it'd be a pretty easy one to convince me to get because I've just been kind of waiting, especially if I had a good sign-up bonus. Let's see. Jeroid asking, what is the best reward no annual fee credit card? That's a hard one to answer. I gave a ton of different options in a video in the past that's literally all about the best no annual fee travel credit cards or the best no annual fee cashback cards. I have both those videos on my channel, so maybe check those out and pick the best option for you. I have not noticed this, Boxer, that Amex has had some Hyatt offers within their offers. I don't think that Hyatt would make a move to Amex. If they did do that, I mean, that'd be insane. That'd kind of be like that'd be a big ripple in the credit card game. So I don't think they will. I guess you never know, but I don't think that they will. Is it worth going from the CSP to the CSR, Chase Sapphire Preferred, to the Chase Sapphire Reserve if you're not a frequent traveler? I would say no. You can do an effective annual fee calculation, though. Like, you know that you're going to get a 50% points boost compared to 25%. Calculate how much of that you would actually use and how many points you'd save and the cash value of those. You know how many lounge visits you'll do, stuff like that. In my video coming out Monday, I do a full analysis of the Sapphire Reserve for my situation, and that should help you out. John asking if I have any plans for using my Amex points. Right now, actually, I really don't. I don't have any plans. I'd like to do one big trip a year on points, and that'd be like a first class or business class flight international. That's probably what I'll use my Amex points for. I keep like referencing old videos, but maybe I'll go watch one of them after this. That'd mean a lot. But once I get the Amex Business Platinum, I expect my point utilization to increase a ton with Amex because I will use you effectively get like a 50% boost on your points because of the 35% points rebate on that card. So if I get the Business Platinum, that is what I'll be doing with my points. I'll be using them for domestic flights a lot more, but until then, I do not know. Just grab the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Congrats, Barbara. Is a $300 travel credit a better elevated offer than the 75,000 points? It's honestly like really comparable. I would say if you like using the travel portal at all, then yes, because an extra 15,000 points to 75,000 compared to the base 60 is, you know, at 2 cents per point, which is not guaranteed that you get that with transfer partners, that'd be $300 worth of value. So getting $600 plus a $300 travel credit, or getting 60,000 points plus a $300 travel credit, it's the exact same math. In that regard, like you get an extra $300 worth of value from the 15,000 points and $300 travel credit. So yeah, just depends on your preferences. Alrighty. When will I diversify the content, or is it going to only be credit cards? That's something that I talk about with people every single day. I have a friend that does YouTube, like a personal friend from like high school and stuff, and it's very unfortunate, but the way that YouTube has been working lately, especially, is any kind of branch out from your normal content, it immediately does horrible. So it'd be hard to do that. I might test some videos here and there, of course, but I mean, I always am testing video ideas, but it's very hard to commit to any kind of branching out whenever there's no reward for doing that. And especially when this is like a full-time thing for me, like I can't just, you know, upend everything. And I love talking about credit cards. So if anything, I would probably just maybe end up making a second channel if I was passionate enough about another topic. But if it's adjacent to credit cards, then it'll go on this channel. Okay, well, I'm going longer than I said it would, but wondering if I sort of messed up. Here's what happened in October. Applied for the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Got it using a girlfriend's referral link. Then later in the day, gave the Amex Green card a shot, and I got it as well. Then at night, went for the Built card. Oh my God. And got that too. My credit took an 80-point drop, but a month later, right back to 720. Does this make me scratchy, or am I good to go? I mean, technically, yeah, you're fine. I mean, if your score is back where it is, you hurt yourself in the sense of you have a lot of hard inquiries at once. That's not that fun, but your score's already back and recovered. So the only reason I would not recommend going for multiple cards on the same day is if you're about to apply for another loan, because as you saw, you dropped 80 points in like a day. That's not good if you're going for like a mortgage or a car loan, but it will recover, as you've seen. So you should be fine. One Bridge asking why you were denied on a pre-approval on the US Bank Altitude Go with a score of 703. Unfortunately, I can't give you a straight up answer on that. There's a lot of factors that they take into consideration. Could be your income, could be the credit score. Like maybe they want a higher credit score than that. Could be your length of credit history, could be a lot of things. So I can't tell you for sure. Could be that you don't have an existing relationship, all these things. But yeah, if you want a better chance of approval, you could try to form a relationship with them. But yeah, other than that, I don't have a concrete answer, and you can always ask them for their answer. They'll give you a good one there. Rupert asking if an authorized user has to use the card that was given to them, or if you can keep it and not use it at all. I don't think you have to use it. They may close it for inactivity over time. I mean, I guess I would. Well, yeah, you could always open it and not let them use it if you just like want to help your child or something grow some credit. Maybe just put a charge on it every 6 months or whatever just to keep it active, but I don't think they need to. Yeah, thank you, Matt. Explorers, that's what I was talking about with Hyatt earlier. Thank you. Super Sal said that you subscribed. Of course, I'm super glad that I was able to answer your questions. As I mentioned, I wanted to end this a little bit earlier, but we're going to go ahead and do it now. For those that asked some later questions, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get to them, but I will be doing another live stream here in about a month. Hopefully I'll be able to answer more questions there. You can always DM me on Instagram, follow me there, do whatever, or Discord as well. I'm always happy to help for free where I can, and that's exactly what this whole channel is all about. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream here. Hopefully don't accidentally like end it way too soon, because that has happened multiple times in the past. So I'm going to sit here awkwardly for about 30 seconds and see if I can actually end it. But thank y'all so much for being here tonight. Odin and I both really, really appreciate it. And as always, we'll catch you guys next time. And yeah, have a good rest of y'all's week.